Bismillah. Okay, so there's been this crazy uproar about the Charter of Values recently. And honestly, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, me personally, I totally agree. We should all be united, absolutely. And part of that, of course, is fitting in. You know, not displaying symbols which promote a certain religion. We shouldn't wear, crosses so people know that they're Christian. And we should remove the veils and turbans not to be confused with Sikhs and Muslims. And we should stop wearing our wedding bands, our wedding rings, because people will know that we're married, and that says a lot about someone's beliefs. Actually, we should stop wearing anything at all, because by that logic, even our way of dress says something about who we are. And that just makes sense. Actually, I'm not even too down with this whole colored people thing. And I don't mean black people, I mean like actually the idea that we are of different colors, I think is unfitting. How are you supposed to fit in when you can obviously tell who's black and Asian, white skin, Caucasian, and pretty much who's from any nation? I think we should all agree on just one color. I vote green. Because the best people ever, there's Hulk, Hulk is green. Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. And Dixie from the Teletubbies. So all great characters from history are green, and I think that just makes sense. I mean, we're not meant to accept each other's differences. We're meant to be the same. That's why we're different. And that just makes sense. I mean, honestly, can you give me one example in all of history where two separate nations came together in collaboration and formed a less ignorant civilization? I mean, except every example ever of the process of industrialization, which often led to medical and scientific advancements. But other than all of those ones, it never happened. So we're just keeping the trend going. And I don't know about you, but personally, my blood just boils. Causes like a nervous turmoil. I get a twitch in my eye. I die a little inside. Sometimes I clench my fist at the sky and say, "No, God, why?" Every time I get my blood pressure taken by a woman wearing a veil. No, if I'm going to be deathly ill, I demand to see my nurse's hair. It's only fair. What if she's hiding a bomb up there? And it hurts me to see that some people just don't agree. How could you possibly see no harm in a Jewish man wearing a yarmulke? Or a Sikh man wearing a turban? No, this is the last straw. There needs to be serious measures taken to prevent these people from evil by a law. And that's exactly what we're doing. So we've come up with a ridiculously long titled charter that discusses exactly that. And it's called the Charter of... The Charter affirming the values of secularism and the religious neutrality of the state, as well as the equality between men and women and the framing of accommodation requests. We didn't bother taking a second opinion. So, let us decompose those terms, inshallah. First, the Charter affirming the values of secularism. These are values which are based on our own personal opinion and what we think is right and wrong, which are often based on, our mood for the day and the weather. So, 50 years ago, we thought homosexuality was bad. We all agreed on that. That was a crime. But today, it's totally fine. So you can see how our values are ever unchanging, and there's no need for a law which is divine and doesn't change through time. There's no need for that. Moving on. The religious neutrality of the state. We will not promote any religion at all, especially not Christianity. And that is precisely why you have Easter as a holiday, Christmas Sunday, because that's the Lord's Day, and multiple other Christian holidays. But as long as we say that those are civic holidays, then we're okay. Which brings us to our next point, the equality between men and women. This is what this charter is for, equality. So, in all fairness, we will equally be fair to both parties, and if a Muslim woman chooses to put a veil on, we will not let her work in a public institution. And that's just to be equal between men and women. That's just to be fair. Finally, the framing of accommodation requests. We're just trying to accommodate everyone. We're trying to be the good guys here. So, when a woman decides that she wants to have a religious object which protects her dignity, her self-respect, and God consciousness, that's fine. That sign is okay to have, but you just can't work for us. So you wear your hijab at home with your husband and kids, because that's how hijab works, right? You can put it on at home. And so you can see how this title is very befitting of what we're trying to do. So I can see some hesitation in the room. People aren't sure. They don't really agree with what I've been saying up to this point. But I can assure you that this will unify us. By making everyone feel like they don't belong, we will grow strong. I promise you. And so today I say, vote yes to the Quebec Charter of Values for a separatist, individualistic, egotistical, and oppressive, delusive and regressive, better way of life, where piety is considered backwards, and a scarf is a safety hazard. Just like